Hi, welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about how to manage your Genie space programmatically using the Genie API. On the left, I have a couple of Genie spaces I've created, and creating a new one is very straightforward. You click on New, you select your data set, and then you start configuring your Genie space. This is very easy when you have some ad hoc Genie spaces that you want to create. But what if you want to standardize this across the organization, promote your Genie spaces across development environments in your CI/CD pipeline? And this is where the Genie API comes in handy. So on the right, I have a piece of code that I've written to deploy a Genie space based on certain configurations that we've set. So I'm just going to run it first so we see what that Genie space looks like. First of all, we specify what the name of the space should be, give it a description, and then we give the configurations for the Genie space as well as the warehouse ID where all of the queries are going to run. Let's run this, and then we should have our space created. And then on the left, I should come and refresh this. Let's give it some time. And then we should see the Genie space created. So I can open that up real quick. And as you can see, we have our Genie space. And now let's break it down. So I'm going to scroll up here to the configuration that I defined earlier. All I'm doing here is, first of all, specifying some sample questions. So if you look on the right here, we have what were total sales last month, and you have that here. Show top 10 customers by revenue, we have that as well. And then finally, we have compare sales by region for Q1 and Q2, and we have that here. You can also see that Genie has generated some other additional questions based on the context that it understands for this space. The next thing is the data sources. So in this case, I'm specifying two tables. So the bronze customers and bronze orders. And if I go into configure, I should see those two tables here. For the bronze orders table, I went into a bit more detail. So I wrote a description, described the column names, and enabled some advanced functionalities for certain columns. So for example, if I open up the status column and click on advanced, you can see that we've enabled example values, which allows Genie to really understand the context for particular data sets and columns, so it can give you more accurate responses, as well as the value dictionary. Cool. And now if we go to instruction, we've also given like a general instruction for the space. So you can see here, so every content that we've written here gets imported into the Genie space as well. The next thing is we also gave some example SQL queries. So if I come here, I generated two example queries, 1 and 2, as well as the actual SQL. So if you open that up, we should see exactly the same thing, which is really cool. So this is a very effective way to manage and scale your Genie spaces. Finally, we specified some SQL filters, 2 of them as well, and then those get created for us here. So you can create as many of these configurations that you need for your space. And as you can imagine, because this is programmatic, you can use parameters, you can push them across different environments in your Databricks workspaces. One thing that's important to note is the IDs. So just ensure that you generate like a random 32 hex universally unique identifier. So you can do this online, just generate some unique IDs and use that as your ID when you're actually creating these different configs. So you can see I have several of them here. And also in terms of documentation, you can find all of the information here. So first of all, the Genie API provides 2 capabilities: the conversation API, which allows and enables natural language data querying in your applications, and then the management API, which is what we've just looked at. And if you go into the API reference documentation, you have full details of exactly how to use all of the different configs that we specified. But one thing in particular is important, is the serialized space. So this is actually all of the configurations that I just showed you. So you have the version of the particular schema for this serialized space. At the moment, it is 1. And then you have the different configs. So sample questions, data sources, instructions, etc. You can find all of the information here. I'm going to put this in the description of the video. And finally, if you have a space, so instead of having to write all of this code from scratch, you can actually open up a Genie space you already have, like this one, and then you can just call the get API endpoint. So I have another notebook here that does just that. So here I'm calling a specific Genie Space API endpoint for the one I just showed you. And then if I run this, you should get an output. And this is basically all of the information that we would need to recreate that Genie Space if we needed to. And then you can easily change any of the configurations that you need. So that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know and catch you in the next video. Bye.